guys, EPTCG here, and before we get into the video, if you guys don't want to listen to me babble on and talk for a long period of time, and a link in the description below, there is a link to an article that'll take you to pokegym.net that'll basically, you can go and you can read a full article of basically everything I'm about to tell you, but I figured for the most part I would make this video just as kind of a warning and just something, you know, that people can kind of have in the back of their heads, you know, like, well, you know, just for security purposes, you know, this isn't a cry out for me to, you know, get pity or nothing like that. I've heard everything imaginable, you know, I've heard you're an idiot, how could this happen, you know, you're irresponsible, keep a better eye on your stuff, blah, 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 you know, and it, you know, it's whatever. It's been a year since it's happened, and, you know, I basically have been putting this video off, which sucks because, you know, other nationals have been going on, but basically, guys, this is going to be a little story time with me and me telling you guys basically what happened last year at the 2013 United States Pokemon Nationals Tournament in Indianapolis. So, for you who don't know, I play in Texas. I live in Oklahoma, unfortunately, but yes, I do play in Texas. And it's about a 13-hour drive or so, give or take, to Indianapolis. So, you know, pretty good trip. And at the time, pretty much like what I was expecting to see were 4 decks: Blastoise, Keldeo, Gothitelle, Excelgor, Darkrai, and Plasma. That was pretty much were the decks at the time. So I didn't own Tropical Beach. I just didn't really click with Darkrai like I do now, and for some reason I love playing Plasma, so I decided to go with TDK. TDK at the time, this was before, you know, they were releasing 10s and everything like that, so the cards were still pretty pricey. So kind of give you guys like a quick overview of what happened. So we headed out from Denison, Texas to Indianapolis, and stayed at a hotel on the way up there, and, you know, finished the rest of the trip when we woke up. And I played through the tournament, and I really only got to play test against Gothitelle, Excelgor, and Array Eels, which sucked. You know, I didn't really get to go out in a wide variety, and you know, play test against a lot of decks. So I built the deck a little wrong, and I went through the whole tournament. I think I went like 5-4 or something like that. But like by round. I think it was like round 3, I saw immediately what I could do to my deck that'll make it better. And so I buddied up with a friend of mine named Jarvis, and we decided to go, you know, do the side events and, you know, go do some 8-man pickup tournaments, because one of my friends actually made top cut last year at Nationals, which was really awesome. And, you know, we figured it'd be a cool time to catch up, hang out, and just, you know, goof off, whatever. So we played a little league, stood in line, talked, got some pictures with the, you know, people in the costumes, and we decided finally, you know, hey, let's go play an 8-man tournament. So before all this happened, like in between the tournament and the like the 8-man pickup tournaments, whatever, I swapped out some cards, and my Plasma deck just started working really well, and I loved it, and I really enjoyed playing it. And so we went to an 8-man, and I played 3 rounds, and actually ended up winning the 8-man. I mean, this deck was so fun. Like, it was working really well. And we decided to hop into another one. And this is where things started going kind of downhill. So we get into that one, and I go against a guy I actually played during the Nationals tournament, which was really cool. It's a good guy. He was playing Blastoise, and I came up a little short. We had a really good game, but he got the jump on me really fast, which sucks, but you know, hey, it happens. And I got up, I put my deck in my bag, got my dice and got my mat, and my friend was like, I'm going to swap out a card real quick. So I was like, okay. So we headed over to a table, and I put my bag pretty much like right on the side of me. And I'm going to give you guys like just a quick thing what I did. Got my bag and just did that, and then I looked over at him. He was sitting right next to me. I helped him out with the deck. I was like, hey, you can try this. I mean, this seems cool. And so then out of that little maybe 1 minute that I was looking over here, I reach into my bag, and I can't feel my deck. It's just gone. So I stand up, I'm like patting myself like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, no way. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I left it on the table. But then I remember putting it in my bag. I was like, no. So I walked over there anyway. And I told Jarvis, I was like, my deck's gone. But the F word was in that sentence. And he's like, no way. So we go over to the table where we just played the little 8-man. It's not there. All the guys that were sitting at that table said, we saw you put your deck in your bag. And so we went over to the league line just in case. Nothing. And then it hit me, okay, we got to go talk to the vendors. And so we we're running through the convention center. And there were 3 vendors last year. I think it was Troll and Toll, Top Cut, and Collector's Cash or something like that. I don't know. I think we ran in like this way, so we went into Troll and Toll first, and so I walk in and I'm panting really hard because I straight up sprinted across the convention center, and this lady was like, hey, are you okay? I was like, I need to see someone. It's an emergency. And so she's like, what's wrong? And I told her, I was like, my deck got stolen. And so she runs against this guy, and he takes down all my information. They're really concerned. Like they straight up were just like they were on the ball. They were hopping to it, and they said if we hear anything, we'll tell you. And so I think they said they'd call security. I can't remember, but so we ran out of Troll and Toll into Top Cut. Same thing happened. They hopped right to it, took down my information. Then I went to Collector's Cash, and they were like, okay, what do you want us to do about you? Like, you want us to take down information? So they didn't really give, 2 squirts of piss, but I was like, okay, whatever. So Jarvis was like, maybe we need to talk to security. So I go and I get security, and the main guy comes out and talks to me, and he says, well, go look around the area again, and then come back and talk to me. So I was like, okay. So we went in there, and then we checked Lost and Found, and checked the whole area again, and I told a few people what happened, basically the people I rode up there with, and then I went back out to security and told them I can't find it. It's gone. And so I think we went and we looked around a little more, maybe, I can't remember exactly, but basically it led up to the guy going, well, do you want to call the non-emergency police line? And at this point, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm about to call the police while I'm at a Pokemon tournament. I mean, this tournament was supposed to be like, the best way to end, my year of Pokemon. Everything I did through the whole, seasons and everything, like, led up to this. And now I'm calling the cops. So I looked at Jarvis. Jarvis is like, man, we can't find it. We might as well. So get the cop on the line, and we go to the section that the cop's supposed to be pulling up, and the cop car pulls up. We walk outside. This old dude gets out. This old cop gets out. At this point, I'm thinking, great. I'm like, there is no way that this is gonna go over too well. So he gets out. He's like, all right, what's up? I tell him everything, and the dude's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now, I can understand. I can understand. He's a cop. The stuff he probably hears and deals with on a daily basis, and then he's listened to a full-grown man, saying, hey, my Pokemon card got stolen. But, it isn't, it's not as much as that. Like, the cards were expensive then. Like, catcher back then was still, I think it was like a pretty decent amount. Like, not too crazy, but still pretty good amount. I was borrowing 3 Deoxys, a Thundurus, and I think 2 or 3 Kyurem. And like the deck added up into the hundreds, and the cop was just kind of looking at me and was like, well, can't you just go to Walmart and buy a deck of playing cards and get them back. And then the cop went on to be like really, really rude. Like, I mean, like, not to the point to where, you know, you're like, well, sir, you know, this is, you know, you can just buy them back. You know, being like, he was being just a straight up a-hole. Like, I mean, not even joking. And I glance over at Jarvis and the security guy. The security guy's looking at this dude like, really? Like, you're not helping this dude at all. So I just flat out say okay. Like, I say okay, like, while he's in mid sentence, and I just walk back inside. I didn't care. Like, I was mad, and we go back in, and I go check the vendors. I go check Lost and Found, and I'm like, I just do this, and I look up and I see cameras. I think to myself, okay, surely the cameras caught something. Excuse me. So I run back to the security thing. The guy's like, hey, you find out anything? I was like, no, but I have a question. He goes, what's up? He said, I said, can we look at the cameras? Dude looks at me and he says, well, that's not really my call, but the guy who makes the call to look at the cameras isn't here today. So he walks into this little office booth thing, gets on the phone, and starts talking to somebody. And it comes back out and it's like, oh, well, you see, the guy who does the camera thing won't be here until Monday. And I'm like, Monday I'll be back home. You know, so I was like, you couldn't ask him over the phone? Well, I mean, I could have, but, you know, I mean, I don't want to call him back. It's his day off. And I'm like, oh my God. And at this point, I know what's about to happen. And, you know, the security guard tried. He really did try. I can tell. So, you know, I shook his hand and I said, well, thank you anyway. And I went back over and I checked Lost and Found again. Like, we checked Lost and Found so many times that, like, whenever I would walk up, the guy would be like, sorry, nothing. And, so I, walked back over, and I think the seniors VGC finals or something like that was going on. I can't remember. I just remember seeing a Cresselia. And the guy that I borrowed the cards from, Josh, walked up, and he's like, hey, man, you know, did you find anything out? You know, are you okay? And I still, to this day, don't know what happened, but I felt this gigantic just thing of emotion go over me. And like I said at the start of this video, I'm not trying to get pity for any of this, you know. This is just a video for people to go, okay, maybe I need to keep a better eye on my stuff, or I need to be more aware. But I feel myself just start crying. I mean, this wasn't like, you know, oh, boo-hoo. I mean, this was like straight up me bawling. And, you know, and I think it's because, you know, like, I felt like the trust, you know, between my friends and me kind of dissolved there. I felt like, you know, Josh and his father, who were the owners of the cards, were, you know, just going to kind of just hate me after that. And, you know, I couldn't believe that, you know, they were nice enough to let me use these cards. And, you know, I screwed up like I did. I mean, so many things were going through my mind. But, you know, I just remember standing there crying, and I saw people looking at me. And, you know, Josh, like, says, come here, man. He gives me this gigantic hug, and he says, hey, it's all good, man. They're coming out in 10s, you know. I mean, those cards are replaceable, buddy, but you're not, man. And, you know, I don't know. I just couldn't get over, you know, someone doing that, you know. Because, I mean, it's crazy. Someone had to walk up, literally right next to me, and take my deck out of my back. You know, and it's crazy someone would do that. But, pretty much, you know, like, after that happened, you know, I'm sitting there, and I'm still crying. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I can't show my face back up at League. You know, am I done with Pokemon? You know, is this it? And, you know, and it wasn't far as, you know, the deck got stolen, I'm not coming back anymore. I pretty much how I used to operate, but I don't now because of what happened, was I would get 4 of a card, and that'd be it. I wouldn't get any more. So, you know, the Junipers that were in that deck, the Ns that were in that deck, all those staples were it. That was it. So those were gone. I was like, okay, I'm basically starting over. And like a cycle was coming, but it was really tough. And I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with this game, and I had to walk away from it because some jackoff came and stole my deck. And I remember talking to one of the local Pokemoms, and that came up, and I started crying again. And I remember Boyd. I think it was Boyd that said, we need to get him out of here. This is he's really like not okay. So we I say bye to Jarvis, and I tell him thank you, and we go get something to eat. And this is kind of random, but my favorite food is Chinese. Like, I love Chinese food, like with a burning passion. And pretty much like that whole like the last like the actually every time I've gone to nationals, I've ate at a little Chinese place that's in the food court at the mall. Like, I eat that every time, just because I love Chinese food. And like I'd just fill myself up. But after that happened, just whenever we were going up the escalators to go to the little connecting thing, whatever the sky, I don't know, I can't remember what it is. I don't know what it's called, but it's what connects the mall and the convention center. Like, I remember going up the escalators, walking to that, and just bursting into tears again. And I tried to quit before I got in the mall because I know people would look at me really, really weird. But we get in the food court. And Boyd, which is Josh's father, the one who drove us up there, it was kind of like our chaperone, even though we're all fully grown men. If that makes sense. Passed me on the shoulder, and like the whole time, I couldn't even look at Boyd because I thought he was disgusted with me. And he passed me on the shoulder, and he says, okay, we're not mad at you. We're really not. I'm mad that someone did that, but I'm not mad at you. And so basically, we got some food and went back home. Or we got some food and went back to the hotel. And, like, in the hotel room, I was so quiet. And I just kind of, I got away from the guys because they were having, a really good time. And Boyd was sitting in his room. We had, like, connecting hotel rooms. So I went in there and sat with Boyd and talked with him for a while. And, we talked a lot, and like really got that like manly way of connecting and everything. But we came back home, and I wrote this article on PokeGym, and I put it I can't remember where I put it. I think I put it in like Random Topic Center or something. I can't remember, but it got moved around a lot, and then finally I think one of the moderators actually moved it into the United States Nationals section and was like, this has to be read. And the community that I was like hanging my hat to, was getting ready to walk away, was like being really supportive, and was just like, that's horrible. I remember when this happened to me, and I had people sending me private messages saying, I've got spare this, spare that, what can I do to help you out? And I couldn't believe it, I could not believe people were seriously reaching out like this, people were messaging me saying, I can send you some cards, I will send you anything you need, for you to get back up on your feet in this. And like, I had a guy who sent me a gold catcher, for Professor, I think it was like Professor Promo, Junipers. I had someone else who sent me like a ton of like just staple cards, and just sent me a reverse laser and all. And I was so just amazed by how the community reached out and how the community just flat out helped me. And it really renewed my faith in this game. And I just every single deck that I've ever built and played into a tournament, if I played Junipers, which I do every time, I played those Professor promo ones, whenever I played Laser, that reverse would have to be in there just because, you know, that person sent me that. And, you know, I've top cut many times with those cards. And, you know, it's just, I don't know what would bring a person to do that. You know, it's crazy. But I got the league, and everyone was just so supportive. We're saying the same thing. Hey, if you need cards, man, come talk to me. You know, if you need a deck, come talk to me. You give me a list of 60, I will bring you the deck, sleeved and everything. It doesn't matter. And that's why I love this game so much, is because I love the community. You know, and I love everything about it. It's just, I don't know. But basically all I could build, I built this weird big basics deck. And I built it out of scratch and what I had left. And it was actually really, really good, which is what's weird. But basically, I don't know why I didn't make this video sooner. You know, I know Nationals have been going on now for like a month or something, bro. I don't really know, but they've been going on for a while. So this isn't me, you know, crying out, going, "Oh, help me!" You know, this time's coming up again. I'm not doing that. I'm simply making this video hoping that I can at least reach one person that, you know, holds on to their cards better. You know, I'm not saying, you know, sit there and like hold on to your cards the whole time like this or something. You know, just no. You know, just keep an eye on it. You know, just look over it and watch it. You know, that's all I'm trying to do. Just give you that warning that it can happen. I didn't think at all when I woke up Wednesday that my, you know, stuff would be gone. It's a trip, man. But, you know, it didn't take me long. I got back up on my feet immediately, just because of all the support that I had. And I came back stronger. I bought and replaced all the cards that were stolen. And there were 10 promos, but, you know, still they say the same thing, and that's what they were like. Josh and Boyd didn't care if I did replace them, but I did anyway. I think I spent like 100, maybe, something like that, give or take. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, you know, that's all I'm trying to do, guys. If you're watching this video, you know, just keep in mind that it can happen. And if anyone at all is watching this video that might have sent me cards, you know, just that skim little chance, you know, that you're watching this, I want to say thank you so much. And I guess that's going to do it for me. Video's kind of long-winded, long story, a lot of talking, but, you know, I'm hoping to God that there's not any trolls on this, you know, that are going to be, like, bashing me or nothing. But, yeah, hey, it happens, man. It does. But anyway, guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching. I want to say good luck to you at the United States Nationals tournament. If you see me, come give me a holler, you know. I don't care. You know, I've already got people who are saying they're going to come up and talk to me, which is awesome. You know, I love meeting people. If this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, I have plenty more on my channel. I've had this channel now for a few months. There's a giveaway on my channel. I think you guys have a couple days left to get in on that. Yeah, that's about it. I appreciate you for watching, guys, and this is Epic Pokemon TCG, signing out.